We're pre-locking them.
Pre-lock and go.
Yep, pre-lock.
And-
Just pre-lock.
Fight!
Go.
Go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're off to another fight. We've got a new pilot entering the arena tonight. This is Vader in his Atron fighting 8C in his Breacher. This fight's already off to a good start with... We've got two Hobgoblin 2s on the field. Vader taking a wallop from those drones. 8C is sitting happily, only about 10% down on his shields, while Vader is about to hear his hull alarm. His hull alarm has now gone off, folks. 8C is still sitting at full health. This is an absolute one-sided fight. Vader is just warming up for the night, though. It seems like he's starting to get his reps on. 8C could be in trouble, although he's keeping up very well, not letting Vader pull range.
Go to him, Vader. Go to him, Vader.
Vader hasn't taken damage in a few rotations here, although it could mean this fight is starting to stall out in 8C's favor. 8C gets another hit off to Vader's armor, and it could be a dangerous game here. Vader is now at half of his hull, with 8C just taking down a sliver of his own shields, and that's the game. 8C has very successfully and swiftly dispatched Vader.
Good game.
Go. Tell me when.
And fight! Here we see two veteran combat pilots going one at each other. We've got a warp scramble attempt from Erasmus onto Jerry, which doesn't make sense because the arena's at 0. Jerry is hurting already halfway down through his armor, whereas Erasmus is just now coming out of his shields. Jerry's about to hear his hull alarm go off, and Erasmus is starting to breathe a little bit heavier.
Haven't repped yet.
Jerry's getting his reps off on his armor, but he's down into his hull. Erasmus is starting his reps, and he is about to enter his hull, and Jerry is off the field. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the fastest fight we've had for the night, timing in at just under I blinked. All right. Pilots, are you ready?
Yes.
3, 2, 1, fight! Ladies and gentlemen, we're off to the next fight of the night with Max versus Jim Bob. Both
get
pilots,
a little chub every time.
Both pilots are extremely aggressive going at it for the night. We've got Max in a Breacher and Jim Bob in an Incursus. Jim Bob is taking some heavy damage to his shield, already almost halfway down through his armor. Both pilots are trying to orbit each other, but Max is managing to control the fight, it seems. Jim Bob just throwing circles around Max without any knowledge of where he's going. Max is managing to control the fight with his armor and HP values as well. He's only down and managing to rep back up through his shields. Jim Bob is meanwhile about to be hearing his hull alarm go off. There it is, folks. He's got about 1 HP on the backside of that rep cycle there, but his hull has been poked with a feather. Meanwhile, Max is still sitting pretty up in his shield health with about half of it remaining and his reps standing strong. If Jim Bob can break those reps, he might have a window. Here it might be, folks. He's down into his armor, but is that it? That's possibly it, folks. Max's armor is completely gone. Meanwhile, Jim Bob is about to come back up into his shields. There's another big hit on Max. Max is sitting at 40%, and he is potted, ladies and gentlemen.
Good fight.
What a good comeback from Jim Bob, taking back his crown for the night.
Luke and Erasmus.
Yes.
All right, I'm locked.
I'm gonna wait for me to be at 0, and then I'm gonna lock him, and then I'm gonna pull range and kill him.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Erasmus is so cocky, he's already telling the enemy his strategy for the night. Pilots, are you ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, fight! And we're off to another heated battle, and Erasmus is already hitting a decent alpha on Luke's shields, taking him down to about 40%. Meanwhile, Luke is getting some glancing blows on Erasmus. Luke is about to be into his armor health, but he is a very capable pilot who has managed to rep back above Erasmus's total HP. Erasmus is possibly in danger of losing his shields at this point, and there they go, folks. He's down into his armor. This could be a very good fight. Erasmus is starting to pull range, but it looks like Luke is managing to keep up very well. Erasmus is almost down, hearing his hull alarm, while Luke is still managing to rep up his shields. His armor is about halfway down, and Erasmus has, at this point, seen the red on his last ring. Here it goes, folks. They are booking it out of the arena, making a break to burn up in the heliosphere of the sun. Meanwhile, Luke is managing to rep up his shields and struggling to maintain his hull HP. Erasmus is managing to control the fight a little bit better at this point, managing to get some good hits off onto Luke and maintain his whole HP, but it seems that they're getting to the point where their range
Good fight, bro.
never
Good fight, dude.
mind.
Good fight.
Oh, I thought I would have fucking died, dude. If you had an AB, then it would have probably worked a little bit better.
Oh yeah, if I had AB for show, I ended up overshooting him twice with
Okay.
the micro warp.
Who's fighting next?
All right, I
Os-
need another drink.
Ospreys.
That's fucking awesome.
We've got- Are the
Oh, we're gonna
Ospreys actually
fight
fighting?
All right, 3, 2, 1.
I'm gonna attack.
No,
with
like
light
legit,
armor.
are
All
you guys
reps
fighting?
out.
Are you guys legit
Everything
fighting?
on. All
No,
Logi
they're just-
drones out.
They're just. all,
Ladies and
all
gentlemen, it's the
five.
fight of the century. Logi versus Logi Osprey. This is such a...
Wait, what?
We've got two flights of light hull maintenance bots, both repping the opposite player. They're now boosting each other off of each other by just simply pressing the approach button.
Slap boxing.
Ladies
Where's
and
my
gentlemen,
cap? You gotta keep the cap
this
chain going.
is the new
I don't
Eden
have a
equivalent.
cap chain.
This is the new Eden equivalent of sumo wrestling teddy bears. Why?
Wow.
I'm potted.
No.
And the fight goes to Luke! Ladies and gentlemen, and we're on to the next fight of the night. We've got a Punisher piloted by Vader and an Incursus piloted... Or not an Incursus, sorry. Where
Broadcast it.
the fuck? You guys just... What?
Can we go?
Yes, and... Fight! Ladies and gentlemen, we're off to the races here. We've got Vader and a Punisher versus Asty and a Breacher, and the rockets are coming off heavy from Asty. Meanwhile, Vader is sitting, seemingly dead in space, taking damage like a bitch. Here we come. His shields are now down, but he's not out of the
Approach
fight yet.
Approach him.
Asty's starting to take a little bit of damage, and Vader is now into his armor. The rocket barrage is non-stop from Asty. Meanwhile, Vader is...
This is gonna be an
Piloting.
interesting long time.
The guns are now firing. Vader is...
What is this?
Double click in space away from it a little bit, Vader. Then fuck up his orbit. He's orbiting you.
Vader's managing to tank this extremely well. He's only lost about 10% of his armor in the last 30 seconds here. Meanwhile, Asty is still going strong in his shields. The guns are firing, the rockets are flying, the scram is out.
That's still going. It's gonna be a long while. This is gonna be a long fight.
Vader's slowly getting his armor whittled away. Meanwhile, Asty's handily repping back through all the damage that Vader's managing to deal to him. Vader really needs to start trying to get up in Asty's face. Those guns aren't going to be doing much damage against rockets at that range.
What guns you got, Vader?
I got 25mm Gatlins, 125s.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Just get up close to him.
Meanwhile, Gordain and the Punisher's coming in for an
Richard
up-close
Frig.
action shot.
He needs to pull range from you, and you need to go to him. Then it's gonna take him a while to actually chew through the rest of the armor, because I'm sure you
Yep.
have a plate now. Vader.
Yep. Yeah.
This is gonna be a long fight, boys. Look, he's got a shield regen. Vader's got shield regen. Shield regen at 6%. It's gone down to 0.
I forgot to activate missiles.
Asty took so long to deal damage and realize his damage had cycled off that Vader had managed to passively regenerate his shields. Folks, that's a laugh of the night right there. Meanwhile, Vader is still managing to tank extremely well from this onslaught of
Okay,
missiles.
drones on field.
He finally remembered his drones.
Yeah, exactly.
Asty's drones are now out, but is that enough to get Vader down and out of the fight before he can deal some major damage? We'll have to see, folks, but we'll be back after this commercial break, because I'm sure it'll be a while.
Nah, he's gonna get me.
Oh no, you're.
With less than 10% of his armor remaining, Vader looks like he might be in a pickle here, but Hasty is starting to lose his shields. He's down by about half. Vader needs to get some extra damage on him and burst through their shields. Vader now hears his hull alarm and is starting to panic a little bit more. This could be the end of the fight, ladies and gentlemen. There's another solid hit onto Vader's hull. Only 3 more of those before he is in his pod. Never
Good
mind
job.
1. Ladies and gentlemen, another fight for the books.
All right, let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, here they are, 2 pilots starting at range. We've got Callista in a Rifter versus Erasmus in a Tormentor. As soon as they're within range, the fight shall begin.
This tracking feature's awesome.
Here we go, folks. They're starting to get close. This could be it. And a massive alpha from Erasmus, taking Callista down to maybe 1/3 of his shields. Callista is taking a beating from Erasmus, who's taking an equally hard hit to his shields. Meanwhile, Callista is now hearing his hull alarm. This could be another very quick flight under Erasmus. And that's it, folks. Erasmus has successfully obliterated another opponent.
Thanks.
Good fight, bud.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're off to another fight of the night with the newcomer AST against the veteran pilot Erasmus, and they'll begin their fight in 3, 2, 1, fight! Slow but steady start here, folks. We've got a warp scramble attempt coming out from Erasmus with a very balanced first alpha volley on both parties. AST starting to take a little bit more damage, managing to not outpace Erasmus, but Erasmus gets hit much harder on the second rotation there. Erasmus is out of his shields at this point. Ladies and gentlemen, this could be the second time Erasmus goes down for the night. AST is still sitting in his shields with not breaking a sweat. Erasmus is almost into his hull. Meanwhile, AST is still at 1/3 of his shields. This could be it, folks. We've got guns firing, lasers blasting. This could be one of the most exhilarating fights of the night. Erasmus is starting to pull range, trying to get his beam lasers to be working at their optimal, but it's not working out too well. He's starting to rep up his armor a bit, and AST's having trouble keeping up with the deeps. AST's now about halfway through his shield, but Erasmus has managed to rep his armor back up fully. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a very even fight, although AST seems to have the upper hand on the shield reps at the moment. He's starting to get back up towards full, and it's taken back down to half, but he gets another solid hit on Erasmus. The drones are flying. We've got Acolyte 2s on the field. AST in his breacher, managing to give Erasmus a run for his money. Ladies and gentlemen, this might be the longest fight that we've seen out of Erasmus for the night, and that is an extremely good accomplishment for AST. That's another one.
I have web and AD burned out.
Ladies and gentlemen, that could be the fight for the night, although AST manages to hit a very solid volley onto Erasmus, getting him down just into his hull by the looks of it. AST still sitting only about 30-40% now, 30-40% remaining on his shield, whereas Erasmus is now into his hull, slowly repping back up into his armor. AST's shields might be going out at this point, which could spell certain disaster. Erasmus has yet to take another hit in the last few seconds here, but anything could change at any moment if anybody gets a nice solid hit on each other. The rockets are coming out from the breacher, and this could be it for Erasmus, folks. He's looking at about 30 or 40% of his hull, less than that now. One more solid hit from AST and Erasmus will go down, spelling the second loss for Erasmus for the night, which is an extreme...
Yeah!
And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. AST has successfully bested the veteran pilot.